evening, Mustafa. However, please let me know when we can start. It's already 3:30. Okay, all right.
Hello.
Hello, Joy. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Hello, Mustafa.
Hello, I'm
Hello,
fine.
Sheikh. Hello, Sheikh. How are you all?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Sheikh, who is there
hi.
from your team to present today?
Joy and Menjay.
Okay. So let's wait 1 minute and then can we start? Just 1 minute.
Oh, okay, sir.
Okay.
Good evening, Abhishek.
Yeah, good evening, Paul.
Good evening.
Good evening, Joy. Good evening, MJ. Good evening, Mustafa.
Good evening, Mr. Paul.
Joy, it's like you came prepared for this section. I'm even scared to see you.
Ted, how you doing?
I'm fine.
Okay.
Your laptop, yeah.
Yes, Abhishek and team, we can start. Please share your screen and we can start.
Yeah, Joy will present today.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. Please confirm that you can hear me.
Yeah, Joy, you're audible. We can
Okay.
hear you, and your screen is also shared.
Okay.
We can see that.
Okay, thank you. Hello, everyone. Good evening from Nigeria here. It's 4:35 p.m. So I'm going to say good evening, and I hope that you're having a wonderful Monday afternoon. So today We are going to be demonstrating week 9 of assignment 1. This is DMI cohort 2 as group 1. So I am joined. I'll be presenting with my teammates. So for today's presentation, we are going to be looking at agentic AI and how we incorporate it with Cloud Code to be able to aid deployment. We all know that the world is moving towards AI, and almost every aspect of our life is AI. We use AI in one way or the other, and DevOps engineering and cloud engineering is not an exception. So today we are going to be looking at agentic AI and primarily Cloud Code and how we incorporate it in everyday deployment. So I'm going to be starting with giving you a brief explanation of what Cloud Code is so that you can have a flow with me. So if you're looking at my screen, you can see that I have a little presentation here where I am trying to explain that Cloud Code is an anthropic agentic AI that lives in your terminal. You describe a goal in plain English, and Cloud Code writes code, runs command, reads output, and fixes error. Now, all of that English that I'm trying to speak is that when you're trying to deploy, we are very used to traditional deployment where a DevOps engineer is giving a code. You go to GitHub, you clone your code, you come back, you write your .env file, you write all of the files that you need, and then you begin to deploy it. When there is an error, you fix it yourself, you find the commands that you need. Traditionally, you do this, and it takes time. It can take you hours, it can even take you days for you to do a simple deployment. But with agentic AI, we have a different approach to it. So agentic AI gives you a command line AI that can allow you to integrate some tools, some deployment tools, and make deployment very easy for you without going through the traditional route. The Cloud Code will write the code for you. It will run commands. It will read out the output, and it will fix the error for you. That's the beauty of it. So today's demonstration is going to be centered on how to integrate Cloud Code in our deployment. So we're going to be looking at Cloud Code and the traditional deployment and see how these things differ. Now, for your regular AI, all of us have used AI. We know about ChatGPT, even if you have not used any other AI, we know about ChatGPT, we know about Perplexity and all other AI out there. When you have an issue or when you have a project that you're working on, and then what you do is you go to ChatGPT, you pose a question, you say, ChatGPT, tell me what is cloud engineering. ChatGPT will give you the answer. Now it gives you all the answers that you need. It can give you processes and steps, but it doesn't do the work for you. You go do it by yourself. You go find the commands, you come run it on your terminal. But with agentic AI, all you need to do is give it a simple instruction. It does a sort of analysis. It does a breakdown. It breaks down all you need, fetches every requirement that you need for your deployment, and does the work. It doesn't just give you steps on how to deploy this. It tells you how to do it, and it does it. Even if there's an error, it keeps working. It will look back until everything is settled. So that's one of the things that makes regular AI different from agentic AI. Secondly, is that the agentic AI is also it breaks your goals into tasks. It's to write Terraform, it's to configure IAM and deploy tests. These are the things that we need to do as when you're doing when you're using a regular AI to work in your deployment. You know that you need your Terraform file, you need your .env file and all these things. And as a DevOps engineer, you need to sit down and write all this. But with agentic AI, you don't have to go through that. It will break your project into different tasks. It will write your Terraform file. It will configure. It will create your IAM and deploy and test. So when it does all these things, why would someone still stick to traditional AI when you have something like agentic AI? Now, another reason is that from here you have, it stops then, no further action. It means that the regular AI will just give you the answers that you need, that you have requested, and does nothing for you. But agentic AI will run the commands, it will read the output, it will fix errors automatically. So you create it in such a way, you teach your agent a way that you can write your commands and fix all this, limiting human errors for you, because the less human actions that is involved, the better. So as a regular a regular DevOps engineer using traditional method to deploy, it's you're prone to a lot of errors. But with agentic AI, things tend to become easier. So moving on to the next one, why agentic AI and cloud code matter for DevOps engineer. So why should you as a cloud engineer care about agentic AI? Why should you as a DevOps engineer care about it? You know that when you're working in production, every single decision that you make is very deliberate and has real life consequences. So whatever you do, there has to be an element of precision and expertise. And as a human, you do not guarantee all this. AI doesn't guarantee, but it has a higher percentage of creating something that is quite, that has less errors. Okay, I have a hand raised.
Yes, sir. I might be missing.
Can you please zoom a little bit or go in PPT mode full screen?
Okay, can do that.
You do it on a full screen, I guess. You can do it in full screen, that PPT presentation slide show
PPT
kind of.
presentation you can. I
You
believe
can see
It's on a full screen here.
F5. Yes, F5 so it will be. Yeah.
yes.
Okay. All right. So
Thank you.
you're welcome. So I was speaking about why we should care about agentic AI and cloud code for as DevOps engineer. Number one says it is 10 times faster. Your deployment is 10 times faster. Infrastructure takes about 3 to 4 hours to write manually, including your Terraform, IAM rows, your VPC. Everything is generated in minutes. I recall that the last deployment that we did, the 3-tier deployment that we did, the time it took me to create all my 6 subnets, provision my VPC, go create my database and all of that, I found myself working through one assignment over a long hours. But with agentic AI, this is something that can be done in a couple of minutes, and it is clean and correct. It's not just that it does it fast, it's also correct. Then another one is automated debugging. When a deployment fails, Claude reads the error, diagnoses the root cause, and applies a fix, all without the engineer needing to Google the error message. All of us can relate to this. You know, when you're working, sometimes you run a command, you get this error that you cannot even interpret. I myself, sometimes I try to, okay, what does this error mean? What does 544 error mean? What does 444 error mean? And before you take your time to decipher what the error is and then begin to find a fix, you can tell the amount of time that this has taken. But with agentic AI, your debugging is automated. Once there's an error, it will find out what the error is, apply a fix without you, an engineer, trying to do it, but even trying to tell it that, oh, there's an error here. It will pick it up. Then the next one is security best practices build. Claude automatically applies security rules, list privileges, IAM policies, encrypted S3 buckets, proper security group, no forgotten configuration. So this is a very important thing because we know that everything you do in deployment has to be secure. You need to make sure that you apply the least privilege. You need to make sure that your security keys are well kept. And this is one thing that agentic AI takes care of. The next one is built-in documentation. Every command Claude runs is explained. Junior engineers learn by watching. It bridges a knowledge gap between beginners and senior engineers. So for someone like me who enjoys reading a lot, whatever I don't understand, I'm looking for the next documentation. Now with agentic AI, I don't need to migrate to all over or internet looking for documentation. Right inside my CLI, I get to find out what documentation I'm looking for. It's just like when you go into the man page in your terminal, you're looking for ls and you open the man page, you see everything that you're looking for. That's the same thing I apply with agentic AI. The next one, we have consistent CI/CD pipeline. Claude writes identical tested pipelines every time. No variation between environments. No, No, it worked yesterday mysteries, consistency at scale, which is something that anyone who is working with CI/CD pipeline would very much appreciate, because you make sure that all your codes are identical and consistent. And then again, it works across full stack. So from Terraform to Docker to AWS to GitHub Action to monitoring alerts. Imagine having all of those places integrated in one place. You don't have to go and find Terraform. All your stack is arranged and put together and runs as a workflow. So this is a very big step up for agentic AI. So next, we're going to be looking at real life examples. So I want to bring you to, well, a little example of how agentic AI can apply in our deployments. So I'm going to be talking about hosting a static website on AWS S3. Now, instead of doing the normal thing that we do, you go create your bucket, you come to the CLI, you copy your project folder you upload it into your S3 bucket and come back and do all that. That's the traditional way of doing it. But with agentic AI, it has 3 phases. So we're going to be looking at it in the next slide. So when you're creating a static website, we know what a static website is. A website that is made up of HTML, CSS, and JS files. It doesn't need a server. It's perfect for portfolio. We have built many of them over and over. So I'm sure that a lot of us are conversant with S3 bucket. But if you're not, you can check AWS documentation and see what S3 bucket is all about. So now we have the phases. Now, if you're deploying with S3 buckets, now Claude will read your project folder, identify the HTML/CSS file, check your AWS credentials, and plan the steps. This is exactly what you would do as a DevOps engineer doing this manually. You have to, once you clone your project folder, you cd into it, you go find your index.html, you look at it, make any modification that you want to do before you transfer to S3 bucket. But what is it called? Claude Code will do this thing for you. It will read your project folder, identify the HTML, and check all your AWS credentials, and then plan every single step that is needed. Now, Claude will also create an S3 bucket with the right region settings. Now, I need to mention that for Claude to be able to do this, there is something we call CLAUDE.md, which is just likened to the normal file that you write. You have your .env file that sets all your environmental variables. So the same thing that you write CLAUDE.md, this is where Claude will get instruction from. When it gets your instruction, now it will bring out all the commands that you need to be able to run this, and it will actually run it for you. If you look at my slide by this side, you will see that this is a project folder that has index.html, it has style.css, it has a script and images. Now, this is a command that you need to create a bucket, and then you transfer it. And it's not just that Claude would build this thing for you, it will test to ensure that your app is successfully deployed and it is live. So Claude will test your live website URL, confirm that it returns HTTP 200, and reports the public website link back to you. So you can actually tell whether your deployment to S3 bucket is successful all on the terminal without having to step out. So for me, I think Claude is very cute. All right, so the next one, we are going to be looking at agentic loop. Sorry that I'm taking you here and there, but you understand while I'm taking you in all of these places when my colleague is demonstrating it for you. So the agentic loop. Now, if you look at this diagram here, you see a very simple loop, a circle. It means that this goes on and on. Now you see me in the middle. That's Joy, the DevOps engineer, in the middle. Now I create my goal. The goal, this is what I want to achieve. I want to deploy an app on AWS, and then I create a context. So agentic AI will work on 3 loops. One is content gathering. The context gathering is, by doing anything, Claude reads and understands everything in your instruction, your project files, your terminal state, your AWS credentials, and any provision outputs. What this means is that Claude will first, it won't just jump into deployment. it will plan it. The context gathering is a planning stage where it reads your file and understand what your project is about. Understand the AWS credentials that you need. It will create an enabling environment, understand what your project is about before you even do anything. For instance, if your instruction is host my website on S3 bucket, now Claude reads your folder contents. It checks AWS credentials, identifies HTML/CS files, all of these things in the context gathering. Then when it's done with that, it will go into phase 2, which is the act. Look at it here, from the context gathering, we move to act. Now Claude executes the plan step by step by creating S3 buckets, uploads files, sets permission, enables static hosting. It runs real commands in your terminal. So the acting part, act is a short form for action. After planning in the context area, it comes down here to act, to execute all the plans. Step by step, nothing is missed, nothing is omitted. It will create S3 bucket if that's what you're working with. It will upload your files. It will set permissions, enable static hosting, and run your command all in the terminal. You don't need to go to AWS console to go and create your S3 buckets. You don't need to use the upload button in AWS console. Everything happens down in your terminal. And then the last one, very importantly, is to verify. Claude will verify everything. It will check the output of every command. Did it succeed? Is the website accessible? If something fails, it loops back. That's why it is a loop. It loops back, continue to work until everything is fixed. So that's the agentic loop. As time goes by, we'll have a clearer or a more detailed understanding of this. But know that Claude AI works in a loop. You, the engineer, sets your goal, writes your Claude.cmd, and Claude takes it from there. It does your research in context gathering, then it executes action by writing down all the steps that you need and take actions towards the steps. And when everything is done, it verifies to ensure that your loop is completed, it is successful, and your website is live on the web. So I've talked about using static websites to explain how you can use Claude to deploy. So this is just a summation of all I have talked about. The context gathering, a period where Claude reads your project, identifies your HTML, that checks your credentials and plans the steps. Then 2, it creates the bucket for you in the right region and names the buckets even. Then the third one is Claude will enable static website hosting on the bucket, set public access, apply a bucket policy, then upload all your files. Imagine doing all of these things in minutes. I'm not talking about the exhaustive time that we take in navigating from one AWS feature to the other, creating all this. Just on your terminal, you can use Claude to do all this. So we're going to look at what's life without Claude Code and life with Claude Code. I'd like to call it before and after. So the first one, you manually find and run your commands. So, but with Claude, one instruction and it picks up everything. Claude will read, plan, act autonomously. Autonomously is the word because you already set it in motion on what to do. It doesn't need your enter this command, enter this command. It runs concurrently until everything is done. It also sets your policies and apply them automatically. No error of, oh, I didn't configure this policy. There is no IAM policy. There is this. No, there is no step that is omitted. Everything is perfect. Now, all 12 files, if that's what you're working with, will all be uploaded. Your website will be tested and verified. And all of these things will happen between 2 to 5 minutes. No steps, no manual steps. Everything is automatically done. All right, so this is how it all connects. The agentic AI, that's a concept. Claude will implement it. Then there's an agentic loop like I showed you earlier, and then the outcome. Look at that. We do all of these things. It's just in 4 steps. The concept, implementation, mechanisms, and the outcome. And life is good. All right, so think. So that's it for this part. Now I'm going to be talking about the environments that we need to create all this. this F3 or F5. Okay. All right, so how do we set up Claude Code? For me this evening, I'm going to try to explain it to you in the easiest way possible, while my colleague will demonstrate and show you how all of these things are set up in real time. So we're going to be looking at how to set up Claude Code and other variables that we need to be able to do this. So I'm going to take you a little bit to Udemy, please. So here, I am working on task 2 now to verify prerequisites and environmental setup. Now, Claude Code is not just going to exist out of thin air. There are certain variables that you need. There are certain environments you need to enable for Claude to work. AWS CLI is one of it. Terraform, Docker, UVX or UV, GitHub account, and VS Code. This is something that we are already familiar with, but you may not really know how all of these things connect when it comes to Cloud Code. So I'm going to take you a little bit back to AWS CLI, Terraform, and all of these environments and show you how we are going to set them up and ready to use Claude. All right, so we'll start with the first one, which is the Claude Code itself. Now you need to install it just like every other package that you use. We are going to install it. All you need to do is to navigate to your PowerShell, or if you're using Windows or your terminal, whatever terminal that you're using, you just navigate to it, and then you can install with Winget. I installed on PowerShell, and I use Winget install Anthropic.Claude code. Once you run this simple stuff on your terminal, and you see Claude downloaded immediately. Now, if you can do this also from their official website as well. But when you do it, make sure that you select the operating system that applies to you. I myself, I use Windows, so Windows would always be what I would choose. I don't know why it's not working. One sec, please. Okay. So like I said, use Winget install Anthropic.Claude code. Once you run this on your terminal, it will download. And once it's done downloading, always make sure that you verify whether your download worked by running Claude -- version or -- version. Once you run it, you see the version that you have installed in your Claude, then you know that you have Claude in your system. But that's not all. Now, after you verify that, there's still a couple of things that you need to do. You need to create a Claude account. So you simply go to their website and go to console.anthropic.com. Once you do that and the URL opens, you click on sign up. Sign up with either your email address or with your Google account. Once you sign up, you verify your email. It's a very simple process. Your account is ready and you have a dashboard. So from your dashboard, you can now move to the next step. If you look at your dashboard, you will see my colleague will show you all this, but I'm just trying to set your mind so that you can know what is to come. So once you have a dashboard, your dashboard will show you your billing page. It will show you all the things that you can do from Claude. And from there, you can now buy your API access. So once your account is set up, you click on settings on the left sidebar. From the settings, you click on billings and then buy credits. This will take you to a page where you enter your credit card or your whatever card you're using to buy it. And once you're done, it's very simple. So long as your credit card details are correct, you'll just be able to buy. And if you come back to Claude, you will see that initially, once you set up Claude and you type anything, it will tell you that your credit is low, which means you have not signed up or subscribed to anything. There are certain tools that we need that are free, but Claude, it's not free, and I don't think it should really be free based on everything that it's doing. That's by the way, though. So once you do that, as soon as you set up and you're able to buy your key, pay for your $5 credits, you then come back to get your API. You come back and click on settings. I think somewhere down the line you see get your API key, then you would create API key and copy it. So it is very important that once this API key is created, copy it to somewhere safe, because once that page is closed, you won't be able to copy the API key again. So copy your API key, keep it safe, because you're going to use it to authorize Claude on your terminal. So once you have all of this, then we'll move on. Okay, so once you have, sorry, excuse me. Okay, so once you have this, now you take the key to your terminal, and then you paste it. I'm going to show you. I pasted mine. There is a command that you need to run. So this is a string of command to run. In here, from SK down to this last line is my API key. Once I impute it, I copy the entire command, then take it to my terminal. And like I said, my colleague will show you in details how this thing is done. Sorry, wrong one. Okay. Okay, so once you take it to your terminal and run the command there, it will tell you it's successful. So you close your terminal, you come back, you close your terminal, open it again, and then you run, oh, I'm forgetting the command, but I'll get it. So my colleague will show you. So you get the command, run it, and your API key will come back to you. So once you see your API key returned on the terminal, it means that you have successfully linked, and then it will take you to a browser page where you copy a string of key, come back to your terminal, and you paste it there. Once everything is set, you get something like "Welcome to Claude Code" with your name attached to it. So that's the terminal is really very pretty. So once you see your name, you can now start working. You can test it by running a simple hello or a simple command, and then Claude will return with an answer. So the next one we've talked about is creating Claude. Next one is AWS CLI. Now, AWS CLI is a command line tool that we use to connect to AWS resources, AWS server, database, storage directly from terminal. I am sure that a couple of us, especially people in DMI, would be able to tell that they are conversant with AWS CLI. But if you're not, no problem. This afternoon, you get to learn how to set it up. So normally you go to your terminal and install AWS CLI. Once your CLI is installed, you need to authenticate it, you need to configure. So you run, before you configure, there is something you need to do. You need to get an access key. That access key is what you're going to use to authenticate your AWS CLI. How do you get access key? Navigate to your AWS console and click on your account name. You'll see your name drop down. Scroll down to the end, you see security credentials. Click on it, it will take you to a page where you will see access key. Click on it and you create access key. Once your access key is created, you have access key, you have a secret key. You copy the two of them and keep them. Then come back to your terminal and enter the command AWS configure. Once you enter that command, it will ask you for your access key. You enter your access key. It will ask you for a secret key. You enter the secret key. It will ask you for your region. This is very important. If you don't remember the region that you used in creating this access key, go back to your AWS CLI, find out the region, and then enter it. Then it will ask you for the scripts. We use JSON. So once you enter all this and they are correct, your AWS CLI would be configured. And immediately you will see your name configured to it. So my colleague will show you, like I keep saying. All right, so that is it for AWS CLI. So after we've done all that, this is the process here. Like I've mentioned, log into AWS console, click on your username on security credentials, scroll to access keys and click create access keys. You scroll down the page until you see access key session. Click the orange click access key button. Choose user case, click create access key. It's very simple. The prompt is very clear. You just follow it and you'll be able to do that. Copy both of your keys. you can only see the secret keys once. So that's why I said copy it and put it somewhere that you would be able to keep it safe, because without it, you would not be able to authenticate or authorize your CLI. All right, so this is just simply the commands and everything that you need. Like I said, this is a prompt. It will ask you AWS access key. It looks like this. You enter it. It will ask you for AWS secret access key. You enter it. It will ask you if your default region, in this case, it could be US East 1, EU North 1, or whatever. Then you have your default outputs format, enter JSON. Once all of these things are complete, then you press enter. Now, for you to verify if the configuration worked, if everything worked, you run this command, AWS STS get caller -identity. So once you run this command, it will return your username ID, your user ID, your account ID, your ARN. Once you see these three, you would know that everything was configured properly. If you see an error, it means that something went wrong and you have to do it all over again. All right, so the next one is to install Terraform. A couple of us already knows what Terraform is, but if you do not, Terraform is a tool that lets you write your entire cloud infrastructure, the servers, database, networks, load balancers as code in simple text files. You run one command and it builds everything automatically on AWS. Cloud Code uses Terraform to deploy infrastructure for you. So Terraform is one of the things that we need. Recall that I said AWS CLI, which I have shown you, Cloud Code itself, and now Terraform. So for you to install Terraform, you just go to your terminal again and run this command, winget install hashcop.terraform. Once you run this, wait for a few minutes and it will populate and install your Terraform. Once that is done, verify that your Terraform is properly installed by running Terraform -v or Terraform version, then it will return with Terraform and the version that you had installed. Once you see that, you know that Terraform has been installed in your CLI. Now, if you don't want to go through the terminal, there is an option. All you need to do is to navigate to developer.hashcop.com/terraform/install. This is the official website. You'll see that. Find out the operating system that you're using. If you're using Windows or Mac OS or Linux, whatever operating system you're using, you select it. It will come as a zipped file, so you unzip or you extract it. Once you've done that, you move the Terraform you move it to a folder, open your PowerShell and just run Terraform -v to confirm. Once it returns something like this, gives you Terraform and the version that you have installed, you know that your Terraform has been installed properly. Then the next one is Docker. Now, some of us use WSL. I use WSL because sometimes when you want to work on your command prompts, you find out that you won't be able to do that because it's not a Linux operating system. But WSL imitates a Linux environment. So if you don't have it, it's very simple. Just go install it, enable developer setting, and you have WSL. Once you have that, then you go and install your Docker. So you install Docker. I don't know if anyone listening to me or everyone listening to me knows what Docker is. The very first time I learned about Docker, it was very exciting for me because Docker wraps up your apps and everything it needs. When you want to run your application, you need the code, you need the libraries, the settings, all the dependencies. Now, Docker will package everything into a simple container so that when you run this in this computer A, you get the same outputs. You run it in computer B, you get the same outputs. Recall that when you finish your deployment, you're required to go back to your group and say, please validate my assignment. Let's see whether it's working on your system the same way it's working for me. Now, the fear of having your deployment work on your own system properly may be there because someone else might do the same thing and to not work on their system. Then you'll be wondering, how come? But Docker packages everything so that all environments are the same. It's just like when you have a recipe that you're working with, you want to make banana bread, right? And you have the recipe, you have the kitchen, you have the utensils. Now, I might make my banana bread and it will taste different, even though I use everything. I use the same recipe, I use the same type of pot. It will not be the same. But Docker will package everything you need into one container and give you. So this is one of the environments that cloud
Joy,
code is
we will
going to
cover.
depend on.
Joy, sorry, Joy, we will cover it later. I mean, Docker is in our course. Okay, so we will cover it later.
Okay,
Just
all
skip
right.
this part and carry on.
Okay, thank you. So we install Docker, and once Docker installation is complete, you go check it. You run Docker -v to find out what Docker version this is. You check Docker PS to find out the running containers. So when all of these things returns back successfully, then you realize that you have been able to install Docker properly. So the next one, okay, we have everything. This is a checklist of all that we need to install. First one I spoke about is the Claude Code. Second one is the AWS CLI. We have Terraform, we have Docker. So this is everything that you need to be able to provision your environment for Claude Code. So that's it for task 2. I'll be taking you back to Udemy again so that we can find out what's the next thing to do. So now we've verified our environmental setup. The next thing to do is to set up Claude Code. I've talked about this already. I spoke about it when I was talking about setting up environment. When we get to demonstration, my colleague will show you how this is done and how you can be able to imitate and follow his steps. So I'm going to be moving to run Claude Code using free $5 setup. So once you have been able to authorize your Claude Code in your terminal, you come and test it to see if it works. You can run something as simple as explain DevOps lifecycle in 5 steps. Once you type this and put it into your Cloud Code CLI, it will explain all this for you. So that is how we are going to run it. We're going to test and see if everything I've been talking about is actually true about Cloud Code. Like I keep saying, my colleague is going to show this to you. And then the final one, which is the last task. Every deployment starts with a code. So, I didn't mention that we need GitHub as well. I believe that a lot of us here have GitHub, but if you do not, it's very simple. It's very easy to set up a GitHub account. So you just need your email address to set it up. Then final one is VS Code. I omitted this, apologies. So VS Code, the code editor that we are going to be needing, you install VS Code and verify that VS Code is working by running code minus version. You will see that your VS Code is properly installed. So once you have this VS Code or GitHub account, UV is a Python package that you need to install. I don't know how I missed that. So you install UV or UVX the same way you install Terraform, AWS, and Docker. Once you install it, come back and run UV minus version. It will return the version that you had installed in UV. So all these are the environments that you need for you to be able to use Cloud Code. So back to task 5, like I was saying. So I mentioned that. So you're going to get the GitHub repository. And once you get it, make sure that you have your own copy by creating a fork of that repository. Once you do that, sit here, click fork, and you'll be able to get your own. And then you get from your own repository, you copy the code and go to your GitHub and clone it. As soon as you clone it, you CD into it, and then you have your project folder. So this is what assignment 1 is all about. I've been able to give you a breakdown from step 1 down to the last step. Now my colleague is going to demonstrate and show you in reality, in practicality, how this is done. Please hang around with us. Thank you.
Well done. One of the best demos so far. Thank you.
Yeah, Joy, you really did a good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, Manjay. Hello.
Hi everyone.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. In the task one, yeah, in the task one, understand the problem. Like in the transitional in the in the transitional way.
Manjay, you can start with the hands-on part as well.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, in the okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, task one, understand the problem. Like in the transitional way, DevOps engineer writing the whole infrastructure like Docker a complete React application and backend also. That is really difficult for as a DevOps engineer. And the next step, building a CI/CD pipeline and provisioning. And but in the agentic AI will do in easy manner, like using a defining a skill and defining a task, and the code cloud do everything like it deploy there configuring, like building a CI/CD pipeline and Dockerite file, and also solving the whole error or error, and maintaining the the deployment life cycle, and also solving the whole issue. And this approach is very useful as a DevOps engineer to reducing the development time, and also efficient as a efficient and reducing in time, and also, and you can also write whole thing like how agentic AI reduce and useful as a DevOps engineer, and take the screenshot and paste in your documentation. And task to verify all the prerequisites and the environment setup, like AWS CLI. You can directly download from the you can directly search on Google like AWS CLI, and click on the first website like this one, and select your operating system as well. Like I will show. I can also show this. Yeah, yeah. You can directly select for window, and click on MSI version and download it and confirm it, and also enter the AWS ID as well. And the next step is to verify like AWS CLI is installed or not. Okay, yeah. Open the terminal. Yeah, AWS version. Maybe okay. AWS version V. Yeah. Maybe. Wait. Hmm. AWS CLI now installed in my PC. And the next step is to download Terraform. You can directly search on Google and click on the official documentation for downloading Terraform. And after downloading the Terraform, you verify it from the command line interface. Terraform. Terraform. Yeah. And the next is Docker. Same thing as well. Go to the official wait, copy the URL and open in browser. Yeah, you can download for Window and Mac, and also I think available for Linux also. Yeah, yeah, as well. And open the command line interface and type docker v. Yeah, yeah. already has served. And next, yeah, view UV. Yeah, UV is basically used for virtual environment. Like for example, if you are working for a like a for example, if you're building a backend system, you install many package on your PC, but it's really difficult for you like deleting all npm package. But instead instead using normal npmi, you can directly use the UV, and after completing the project, you can directly delete the UV and automatically delete all the npm package which you basically use in your backend system like that. And there is no need to download manually package also. Yeah, go to this website, like copy the URL and open it. Yeah, directly copy it. You can also copy and then paste it. Yeah, and then enter. I already downloaded. Okay, Control V. Yeah, maybe with the command like UV version. UV version. Yeah, UV version 0.9.4, and the next is basically downloading. Yeah, creating a GitHub account. You can directly search on Google like GitHub. Yeah, I already sign in. And for verification, you can download a Git also, Git version for verifying the Git install on my PC or not. And the next is downloading the VS Code. I think I already pasted higher. Copy the URL and directly open in the browser. Yeah, you can download for Windows and Mac and Linux also. And also you can open in browser. Yeah, I already downloaded VS Code. And the next and take the screenshot and paste into a assignment. Paste on the assignment like for verifying the for other proof. And the task 3 is a setup for cloud. Okay, I will open the. Yeah, you can go to this website and first login with Google. Yeah, you can select any account if you want. Click to the continue. Yeah, select your organization. Yeah, I will select individual. Minimum yeah, after pay the $505, and it allow you to okay. Okay, after pay the $5, it verify it and redirect to this page like wait, wait. Redirect to this page and then create a API like you can enter any name for cloud and then add it and copy the and the email creating account done, payment add done, and creating a API done and copy it. And the next step to download the core cloud CLI. Open I already downloaded. You can also enter. Okay, I'll try. I already know, yeah. And the next downloaded, and the next step is to verify it for cloud version. For cloud version. Yeah, for cloud version 2.7 something one. And the next step to set up the API key and with documentation, yeah, copy it and go to the documentation. Maybe documentation. Go to yeah, go to the official documentation and follow the orders. You can directly copy it, copy and open the base code. Go to the documentation and then equal to and copy the go. Yeah, you can exactly create the default and any name you want and copy it. Copy this API key.
But you can use that previous key that you have created.
Maybe
Okay, no problem. Just continue.
yeah, my yeah, now it's and restart this terminal. Restart. Yeah. Yeah. Like like
Your voice isn't clear. Joy, could you please quickly show that things?
You want me to continue?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can start from the API key.
Okay, let me share my screen.
hello.
Okay, he's back. Okay. Okay, he will continue, right? He's back. Okay, continue.
Okay.
Go on.
Maybe internet connection.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe I select the wrong account. Like. Okay. Okay. Yeah. After verify. Okay. Okay, after verify the core cloud is installed on your PC or not, and take the screenshot for the as a proof and the task 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 4 is done and task 5 is okay. copy the copy the repository link. Okay, and go to this document. Yeah, and copy the URL for the git clone. Git and open the new terminal. Yeah, type git clone and paste it and then enter. Okay, close. Yes, yes, folder. Yeah, okay, clear the studio and also ls. Yeah, this okay. Open in terminal. Open in integrate terminal. This file and get ls. And this is the old file. It contains in ultimate agentic AI DevOps with core cloud. And take the screenshot. Yeah, take the screenshot for the functionality and take the next screenshot like git clone and paste in your Google Doc in last one. This one. Yeah, okay. And next step. Okay. I think sorry, assignment number 1 is completed.
Okay, great. Both of you have did a good job, like Joy and Manjay. You can stop sharing your screen. And Manjay and Joy, both of you can delete your API key, okay? Because
Okay, sir.
yeah, because we have already said on the screen, so you can delete it.
Okay,
So
thank you.
yep.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, may I know who is from Group 2? Paul, who is there?
Good evening. Yeah, I'm here. Good evening, everyone. Good day for wherever I'm coming from. So, Group 2 representing Progress, who will be the ones to present for Group 2, alongside team lead to support if any help required. So, I'll ask you guys to enjoy. Progress, can you share your screen? And you can start. Start, please.
Yeah, thank you. Please go ahead.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. My name is Progress. Please, I hope you can hear me. Am I audible enough?
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are
Yes,
audible.
yes, you're audible.
All right, thank you so much. First of all, thank you, Group-1. You have actually done justice to the agentic AI, starting from Joy. The explanation was explicit, was top-notch, and MJ, you did justice to it. Thank you so much. So I won't be boring your time, or I won't take much of your time. I'll just go straight to the point and show you the backbone of the agentic AI, which you are here to study and understand. So here, I'll be teaching you how I taught my Cloudy to understand my code, understand my project. So we're going to the next slide. So I'll just show you the slide, and then after that, we'll go to the visual code to practicalize it. It will be a straightforward hands-on, so we won't waste much time. So here, in the life of a DevOps engineer, you wake up and maybe you come to Monday morning and then you're meant to deploy your application or your website to a server. So here you have a 10 commands to memorize, to remember. First of all, you SSH to your server, and then you try to check your server health checks and all that. So if you miss any command, one step, you have actually, and then deploy. You have deployed a live traffic to maybe to a broken server without knowing. So here, the agentic AI, which you are Cloudy, have actually come here to make everything simplify. So we only come to just what's it called? It takes you maybe a couple of minutes to put all the necessary structures in place, and then all the misconfiguration, all the errors are being taken away. And this is something that you can reuse. So, and for DevOps engineers that still have the mindset that AI have actually come to take over their job, at this point, I think you need to refresh your memory and then relearn, because AI have actually come to promote you, instead of just to promote you to a higher level, instead of maybe a DevOps operator. Every day you keep doing repetitive task. So, but right now you have promoted you to an DevOps architect. So here you design your system how it should be, and then you watch and then have an overview how the system works. So here, the problem here is that without Cloudy, so once from coming from what's it called, the whole process from the Group-1, what I've showed you. So here we look at CLAUDE.md. So CLAUDE.md, without CLAUDE.md file on our project, the AI does not have a very clear knowledge of our project. Is generic, is vacuum, you just know that, okay, this is what it is. And then you ask a question, it start from what's it called, from zero. It has zero knowledge of it. But with CLAUDE.md, it has a specific information about our project. It understands our stack. It has the structure. It has the convention, and within the environment where it's meant to be deployed. So these are the two different things you just have to have a back of your mind as we progress. So we have with that CLAUDE.md, and we have cloud with CLAUDE.md. So as we progress, I will show you how the CLAUDE.md come about, how it's being initialized, how it's being refined, and the whole process. So just stick with me. So to get the CLAUDE.md, for those who are not strong with extension, MD means Markdown language. Please, for those that don't understand when I mention MD, CLAUDE.md, MD means Markdown language. Please. So here when you go to your Cloudy on your project, first thing you have to do to invoke, to initialize, to invite the Cloudy to take care of your project, you have what you call /init. So once you do /init, it auto-generates a cloudy.md from your repo. First of all, it goes through your project to understand the tech stack. Is it a React project? Is it just a HTML and CSS? Is it a Python project? Is it a C#? Is it a Rust? Is it Golang? Is it Flutter? So it does that, and then it also checks, okay, what is the structure? What are the folders? What are the necessary things? Okay, what are the primary colors that we need to pay attention to? It understand, okay, what are the primary fonts that it just studies your project. Okay, what is the project overview? What's it called? Is it a management site? Is it a static site? Is it maybe an Uber app? So that's the first thing when I say /init, initialize the project, then you study everything. So after that, it has done 80% of your work. Understand that part. It has done 80% of your work. So the second part is to 20%, which is refinement. If you're with me during our Scrum session, that's what they call the backlog refinement. So you have a backlog, and then you have to go and refine it to make it look more smooth, look more neat, broke it down to simple tasks that the system will understand. So that's the word refine. So here you have to go into the file that the init has generated during initialization, and then you have to go in to break it down, to refine it, to make it look more peculiar to your task, to your project. So here the system understand, okay, this project, this is what it is, and these are the instructions, and these are the, first of all, you have the let me just briefly explain the convention here. You have the overview, you have your tech stack, you have your architecture, you have the environment where you're meant to deploy it, we have the convention. So you have the convention. So convention here is an enforcer. So in our daily life, conventions is where we put the rules that guide our activities, what we do and what you're not supposed to do. So whatever thing that you don't want the AI to do, let me come again. If you don't want the AI to hallucinate, because me, for example, once I want to maybe give the AI a task, before now, I will have to, after giving the AI my task, I'll tell the AI, please don't hallucinate, don't assume, don't do this, don't do this. So I keep doing this every time. So before I came across this course that told me that you don't need to keep telling the AI, don't do this every now. So just go to the convention and then set the rules. The AI obeys the law. The law is the law. It can't break the law. It can't go contrary to it. It's an enforcer. Yeah, so that's it about refine. So the next one is test. We all know that we have to test our code. After you're done, if you have to test it to be sure that it has been enforced. So next, so these are the steps. The first, as I mentioned earlier on, the first was to go to your project, then initialize, then which the AI will do 80%, and then you go in and do the 20%. What the AI is going to detect is it a static website, or is it a dynamic website? What are the stack? What are these? Is it a single project? What are the whose owner and all the informations? Hope I'm not too fast. So I can.
No, it's
All right.
fine. Yeah,
All right. Thank you. So step 2, once you have initialized the project, and then you have it's giving you a kind of the CLAUDE.md file. Then you see this architecture, which is first of all you see the overview. Then you see the architecture and you see the conventions. So here, these are for example, this is what you put. Okay, this is a static, this and this, and then the architecture. These are the architecture of my project index, which is the main page. Image is the asset, style.css, that is where all the styles are being placed. So no build tools, pure static. Convention, as I mentioned earlier on, is the enforcer. So as enforcer is a task force that has the rules and regulation that guides what the AI should not do. So here I say, okay, no JavaScript, mobile first, semantic HTML, no framework library. So this is the thing that the AI won't go contrary to this. So as I said earlier on, convention are guide rails. They tell the AI what it cannot do, not just what it should do, what it cannot do. So the step 3, then we'll do the testing, and then ask the AI what is this, and then give us information. No, we will definitely practicalize this part. I don't need to waste much time on this part. So the key takeaway is that CLAUDE.md is a persistent memory for cloud code. So, for example, as I mentioned earlier on, that as a DevOps engineer, you come to your system, you go to a terminal, you SSH, you check your health, and then you deploy and do the whole thing. Those things are coming from your own memory. From your memory, you have memorized the command, whatever thing you have to do. So for Cloud AI, the CLAUDE.md is its own memory. That is where everything is meant to do. is being stored. So when you give it a task, do X, Y, Z. First of all, it goes to Cloudy first. Then go there to look at what am I supposed to do? What are the instructions and what are the rubies? What is this project all about? So that is where it falls back to. Not unlike other chatbots or other AI, that every time you ask it a question, it starts from zero. Every time you ask a question, you have to start explaining like, okay, it's a whole lot. Let me not go deep. So okay, so the demo time, and let me just I will I will visit the Udemy. From there, I will copy the GitHub repo. Then we start the process. Okay, so just stick with me and okay. Okay, so I've copied the.
Sorry, we can't see your terminal screen. You're not showing your terminal.
All right, let me just quick share that. Thank you. That's what terminal now.
Okay. Yeah, I can see it. I think it's okay now.
All right, thank you. All right. First, I will need to verify if Cloudy is active on my PC. So first of all, I have to do Cloud. So this was practicalized by my colleague MJ, that's from Group-1. So he said you have to do this by version to be sure. So okay, good and fine. They have a Cloud 2.1.7. So I have Cloud on my system. So next is to I have to clone the repo. So here git clone. Okay, so right now I'm cloning the repo. All right, let me clear this. Okay, so let me. That's okay. Automate. So let me automate. Okay. Okay, fine. So here we have cloned the project and then it's on our PC. So right now I will invite Cloudy into this project. What will I do? So first I will call Cloudy. So okay, Cloudy, come here, or just like calling my name. So okay, so that's it. So we have a Cloudy. So for me to confirm the information that sorry, that the Cloudy has about my project, I will first do a quick litmus test. Let me ask it a question first. What is this project all about, or what is this project first before I initialize so that I will see the difference. So what? Okay, is this? Hope my screen is bold enough. All right.
Yes, your screen is good enough. We can see it.
All right, thank you. Okay, so this is the answer from Cloudy. So here I said what is this project? So it have stated what the project is all about. So this is a DMI in bracket DevOps micro internship portfolio website. So let me not go on to read all these things. So based on from the repo, from the README file, and from the stack. So this is what the system have come up to, okay, based on this assumption, and then the view you have also, this is what it's all about. So, but this is generic. It can, if you do this on your own part too, it might give you something different or something similar. But here, I would love to tailor this information and then to suit my project. When I say my project, that's my own personal project. So which is what I'm looking at. So I won't want you to give me send generic information. In academic structure, that will be called plagiarism. So let's quickly do that. Okay, before I do that, I would like to let me visit Udemy so that we can follow through this task. So as a line, so that my colleague, everybody will carry alongside. So just I have to, okay. So I have to quickly share my. Can you see my screen, please? Confirm that.
Yes, we can see your screen.
All right, thank you so much. So right now, on assignment 2, task 1, we have done the first part of clone the project. We have tested here, did the first litmus paper, litmus test to check what Claude knows about our project. So now the next thing is to initialize Claude on our project. So here we have to do // init. That's the first command. So here, okay. So once I even type the /, it has given me init as an option. So I can choose to go ahead with it, or I want to complete what I'm typing. So, okay, sorry a minute. I need to actually open my, so you can be able to see the, okay, look one. DevOps projects. All right. So you see. So here, I just want you to see by my left-hand side, you'll be able to see the folders, the files that in this project, so that when we initialize the project, you'll be able to see the CLAUDE.md when it comes in. So you don't know that maybe I actually maybe manipulated the CLAUDE.md into the system. It's something that you need to see how it comes in. So let me quickly do that again. All right, so /init.
The other cloud.md that you opened was on which folder?
Let's see. Was still on this folder, but that was on our terminal.
Continue.
Yeah.
Continue.
So let me quickly do that. So I have to terminate that. So right now, once you click on a /init, so the system here is actually troubleshooting, trying to understand your project code base, the stack, everything about your project. So it's read your README file, it check the stacks, it check the file structure. So here asking me, do you want to proceed with this? Yes. Proceed. Yes. Okay. Yeah, approve. Go ahead. One push. There's a manner prevention. Approve. All right, so I'm trying to approve the system so that you have to create the file. Want to create? Okay, just submit. Let me set.
Check the other one you open. The other one you open first. Go and close it.
Okay, let me just. Minutes. Okay, let's quickly. Okay, so here, slash init to initialize it. So, thinking, trying to understand the code structure, explore, and all that. So, in that. All right. Due to that, I've actually tried to initialize it earlier on, and then I didn't complete the process. Let me just quickly fix the issue. Yeah, just get this off and then clean it again. So I'll try this.
It will not delete because it's open here. Close it. Close it here. Delete it. Delete it. Then you clone from the beginning. Then you open the file. Then you click it. Just take your. There's only for you to rush. Just take your time. Right?
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Right now, I've done it. We open my Visual Code. Okay, so go to terminal. It'll give a few seconds to come up. Right. Okay, so cloudy. Okay, so Cloudy is here. So let's continue the process of initialization. /init. All right, so let's sit back and watch the power of agentic AI. Okay, so here is exploring the code-based structure, the patterns, and a whole lot of information is going on in the background. So here there's a shortcut you can actually press Ctrl B to see what is running at the background. Yeah, so it's actually reading the style sheet, the privacy, and everything. Okay, it's almost done. So why this is going? So in most cases faster based on your project, your code base. So if your code base is large, so it might take some few minutes to study your code base and understand everything before it gives you the output. But the good thing is that once it comes out nice, and there's the next thing for you to go into do the refinement. Okay, so here, you want to create a CLAUDE.md? Of course, that's what I'm looking for. All right. Okay, so here, this is I've created a CLAUDE.md file. So this is the backbone, the memory, the persistent memory of our agentic AI. So this is where the informations, everything about our code is being stored. So we click on it now, so we'll be able to have an overview of what the system have actually, like a kind of what how he perceive our project. Okay, let me close this. So okay, so this is the cloudy.md. So here, this is the overview. So this is the DMI, DevOps and Micro Internship portfolio website, static HTML and CSS sites are used in DMI Week-1. So let me not bore you with all these informations. So this is the information that what system understand about our overview, and this is the architecture. This is the deployment informations. This is the DMI ownership proof requirements. So you can see that on this sheet, there is no convention. So here, if you have to give the cloud AI any task to do on our project, it's going to go overboard, it's going to hallucinate, it's going to assume a whole lot of things. So for us not to find ourselves in that scenario, what we have to do is that we have to refine this cloud.md to suit our peculiar needs and then to be able to control his mindset. So let's visit the Udemy course. So here we have done the task 1. So the task 2 is to improve, so which is 20%. First of all here, so we copy the overview. Hope you can all see my screen. Okay, so here I've removed the overview that is there before. So I've added this. So let me just quickly add something. Build permits me to add this build by okay. Okay, so I've added this. This is my name. So let me just a minute. Praveen templates. If honor to who honor is due. Okay, so here the next thing we have to look at the architecture and then add our convention. So let's head back to Udemy. So here I describe the project structure clearly. So we will do that. Without wasting much time, I actually have what's it called, the structure that I have in place. So I'll just copy this. But on your own personal projects, you have to take your time to modify the structure. Though the structure here is fine, but you have to tailor it to suit your peculiar to suit your need. So here, place this, which is fine. So the next thing we have to add here, which is the enforcer. It's not this is not the convention is not a suggestion. It's not just a suggestion or a recommendation. It's a must-have. It's a must-have because something that helps you to guide your Cloudy, your AI on how to behave, how to act, and what not to do. So here, this is no JavaScript allowed in the project, and this. So let's go there and implement it. So you can see that on this here there's no convention, so we have to add it. conventions, then paste. All right. So your own personal project, you can add a whole lot. You can add other informations that I feel that is necessary for your AI to understand what it's not meant to do. Maybe if it's a Python project, it's not meant to do this and that. It's not meant to. So this is just the basic information. So I will go ahead to save this now, and then we'll see the outcome. Okay, so I've saved this information. So let's go back to so now we have saved the information. So the task 3 from Udemy is to ask Claude in the terminal, what is this project? So let's see the information it's going to give us. Okay. I okay. Actually use the first one I'm
Wait,
using.
yes, the terminal that you open are showing at the right hand side. You can use it again.
Yeah. Sorry, the Zoom was covering it. I don't think so that was better now.
No problem.
Okay. So this is the question. It says the task 3 is let's ask the agent again. What is this project? So let's see if it's going to give us our peculiar information that we inserted into the CLAUDE.md. So let's do that. So here. Okay. So you can read what's it called, this information. So it states that based on the CLAUDE.md. So it's not saying maybe based on any fictitious anything that we went to. So here is based on the CLAUDE.md and the README. So this is what this project is all about. So this is this is a student project, and this is how it is. So it has gone this is from its memory, which I stated earlier on that the CLAUDE.md is the persistent memory for the agentic AI. So this is what the system is, the project is all about. So the next thing we have to do now is to, based on the enforcement we have put in our Claude, which that's under conventions. So let's try to see if we can break the law. So let's head back to Udemy to copy this. All right, so here. That's to add React component to homepage. So let's see the response. So if this goes through, then that means what's it called? Our enforcement is not strong enough, or we didn't do very well. But right now you can see the the answer. So this is what it says. The project CLAUDE.md has explicit convention, no JavaScript allowed in the project. So adding a React will require JavaScript. Should I proceed anyway, or there's a different approach? So here is that this is the enforcer. So here we have put a law that don't do this, and on no account should you do it unless you as the individual or the developer give say otherwise. Okay, based on a requirement, or there's a new requirement, go ahead and do it. So that's when the system will be able to break the law to do it. So This is the beauty of CLAUDE and CLAUDE.md, and this is the beauty of agentic AI. So I applaud everyone to go in, understand how the system works, learn it, train it. Don't just use it as a chatbot where you just sit on your browser and you go there to just ask it a question, what is 1 + 1? What is it 2 instance? So you have to be able to train it to be like your personal assistant, so your PA that helps you to execute the job while and which what takes you. Imagine I takes maybe I took out maybe 30 minutes of my time to set up the CLAUDE.md on a project, on everything. I want to how to provision the infrastructure, everything, the Terraform. So I just sit back and watch the CLAUDE to do its work. So that's the beauty. So in coming demo, I believe the other group will be able to show us how to use the other reusable components of the CLAUDE, the sub agent and all that. So the benefits of agentic AI to DevOps engineer, we cannot overemphasize it, is enormous, is massive. So at this point, thank you so much, the lead commenter. Thank you, commenter. Thank you, my colleagues.
Progress.
And,
Progress. Can you go back to the Udemy course? Let's be sure that you have completed all parts.
all right.
Okay.
So
This is the last
task.
task.
This is the last task, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the last task, yeah.
All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
I don't know. I don't know if anyone here, maybe they have a question they want to ask.
Okay, so any question?
Okay, I think there's no question. All I would just say is thank you very much. Commenter Abhishek, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, Progress, you did a really good hands-on. Thank you for this presentation.
Thank you. Thank you, Abhishek.
Yes, it was very good. Well done. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, you have sent message in our group. If any question, so they have not replied, it means there is no question at all. Okay, so no problem. Thanks, and thank you so much. You have done an excellent job. Especially Joy, you have also explained very well. I am very happy with you. And, Progress, you have also done very good job. So thank you all. Have a nice day. Bye bye from our side. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Bye from here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you, everybody.